Well folks, welcome back to the workshop. Today we have a salvage job. Two Milwaukee nail guns, both faulty, with two different faults. They're both the same model, M18 FNCS 18GS. This one's actually a 2023, but not covered under warranty. This one is a 2022 and was repaired not all that long ago. Both of them have two different faults. Both of them are not worth fixing. So we might be able to make one out of the two. It was actually repaired already, only a few months ago. It actually got regassed, but it's since packed in again. But this time the controllers failed on it. She won't switch on. So the actual motor unit's gone. So that on its own probably wouldn't be worth fixing. And then this one, the motor does work. It's starting up, but it won't fire a nail. So this one's actually had a drop and it's actually cracked a bit of the housing and the magazine up here. The parts they sell in this here are mainly just a few pieces inside of here, inside the handle and that. You can buy the whole top chamber assembly, but you cannot buy the magazine at all. So this entire piece is not available for sale. You can buy the cover, the front and back half of the handle, the tool itself, but you can't buy anything here. So the only way to fix this is with a donor machine. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to see which one we're going to keep and which one we're going to take the parts out of. I would imagine we'll keep this one if we can because it's a newer machine, and we'll take the magazine off of this one. But then that also depends if this still has gas in it. I suppose the motor still works in this one, so we can't check. We can't check this one. That's not switching on at all, so we can't tell it has proper pressure up in here anymore. Right, sounds good. She's firing, she's just not putting out any nails or staples. So this sounds alright. So we'll go with this. That off. See, that's broken down there too. That'll be the handiest way to do this. Pull this off as well. Hopefully the pin in this isn't actually damaged either. Where's it off anyway? It's broke there as well. It's cracked there. So whenever this is actually going up, it wasn't going up far enough, and it's sitting tweaked over to an angle. Instead of it sitting on flush, nice and flat like this, and the pin hitting this here nail only and driving it forward, this is sitting at an angle. So the actual back of the pins here was sitting like this against the housing. So up here was touching, but down here was not. So whenever the pin went to fire, I was just going through this gap, missing the nail completely, coming out here and marking the timber without putting out any nails. So to fix it, I need to replace this. Now for any nail gun, generally the magazine and bits inside of it are the main repairs for most nail guns. Milwaukee obviously don't see it that way. most common thing is the spring for the magazine. By actually pushing on this here. There's a spring attached to that, that's what pushes the nails up. Very common thing for the spring to fail. Either going to be a leaf spring or a big long coil spring that hooks down here. Either way, they generally break eventually. So Milwaukee obviously don't supply that part for the very obvious reason, so that when it fails, they force you to buy a gun instead of one wee part. Not good. So get rid of that. I'm hoping the head up here is actually alright, because this did get a drop. That's what the main problem was. That's why this damage was done. So that one was dropped. This one is just worn out after not even 2 years. Not to say that's not without problems. We lever here for holding your spare heads. That snapped off of there. And this boy here, look. So hope this one's actually alright. Seems alright, mind you. Same thing. Take off the top cover first. Get that off. And open up the body. So many screws in these things, but at least they're easy to open and access. Mikwaukee, you might be able to do more repairs on them, but they are awkward to open and close. So that off. Should just in 2 bolts hold this top half on. Bottom half is just held on down here. Pull out that little LED as well. And that's it. Just leave these ones together so you can actually keep it for spare parts. You just have to open up the magazine to get this little arm down. There's a wee nail stop guide. If you're out of nails, that pops up. If your nails on it or magazine's open, it actually drops on. It allows it to clear this bar. Put that on. Put your cover back on again. Obviously this doesn't stay in securely because the handle's broke down here. The piece that actually kits onto is gone. Even the wee bit for the LED's broken off. Get rid of that. And take over, hopefully, the working one. Now, obviously, goes without saying, do be careful if you're working on these things. This here is a pressurized container. This is fully gassed and ready to fire. Whenever you're not using this thing in between nails, it is actually poised to shoot. So this pin is all the way back. Once this actually rotates around a wee bit and the lever's released, this will fire. So it'll actually come out past here. Not what you want to do when you're working on this thing. Generally when you're working on them, you want to release all the gas out of here to clear the pressure. But we're not working on this end, we're just changing the magazine. But if you are doing this, do not move the motor. Do not let this gear actually rotate, because once this turns, this is going to turn this gear and have the pin ready to fire. There's still another safety down in here, solenoid stopping it, but a simple bang could actually release that. So to fix her, what we should need to do, stick this on. I hope anyway, and so does the customer. That's on there. Even the little LED in this one's broken as well. It just sits in there anyway, it's not that big a deal. The plastic's on it's cracked. The LED itself's probably still working. Am I right there at that? Yeah, should do. There's loads of oil up on here as well, grease. This here makes no walls at all. This isn't a DeWalt gun. This actually does need a little bit of grease up in here, so grease gets on here, it'll actually do the world of good. Finish them by hand as well, make sure they're tight enough, especially around this motor. You don't want to tighten them too much with the drill because you very easily strip out the threads on the plastic body. Now, hopefully this thing still has enough pressure to actually sink a nail. Battery in, power on. Staples in. Much better. Nice one. Just tested on something thicker as well because he's only going through a little bit. I don't know if it's definitely sinking or not. I'll test it outside as well. Sinking them the whole way. Nice one. That's her. Up and running again with some second-hand parts. She's sinking the pins all the way, so she has full pressure up in here. That'll keep that Milwaukee running for a while longer. Now, this here magazine is just bugging me. I find it wild hard to believe that Milwaukee don't actually supply it separately. It's just been bugging me. So I've actually went back on and started searching Google to see if there's anything you can actually get for this here. And right enough, I did actually find another few sites that do actually sell this here part on its own. Now, it's still not in the parts breakdown diagram. They have parts lists there, but it's not in the diagram. It's only in the list of parts. So if you have one of these here guns, you can supposedly get these here magazines separately. Obviously, if it's under warranty, Milwaukee have access to the part themselves. They're going to replace it for you. But outside of warranty, if you go through the site you're looking at, if you can't see the part on the breakdown, it's not there. But if you go through the list of parts, down near the bottom you'll see magazine assembly. I'm assuming it's the entire thing. It would need to be, seeing as it costs about £100 to buy. But you can't actually get it, supposedly. So if you have one of these Milwaukee staple guns and you break the magazine or the spring or something, you can replace it. It'll be expensive if you just need the spring or a wee knob or something, because you have to buy the entire thing at £100. But you can get it. These two, they actually belong to a customer, and he has quite a few of them. Some of them working, some of them are broken. He's had quite a few of them regassed now. This was one of the ones regassed. This was a new one that actually got dropped. He actually has a few of them lying around for spare parts, so he's able to get this one up and running by using the parts from this one. Don't know if he actually sent this way to Milwaukee for a warranty repair or not. Didn't actually say, but I would say this thing should be inside of the warranty. Maybe it was just taking too long for Milwaukee to get it fixed. He just needed it straight away. But that's her up and running anyway. Quick swap over, gets her running again. Anyway folks, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying the tool repair videos. Give us a wee like and a follow if you're liking them. Cheers.